Calls from London business groups are urging the Chancellor to scrap a tourist tax imposed on overseas travellers to the UK when they purchase goods and services. Business group BusinessLDN submitted a report to the Treasury on Wednesday saying that reinstating a tax-free shopping scheme in the UK for international holidaymakers would have a huge flow-on benefit, allowing cities like London to take advantage of greater inward revenue from tourists, which it's currently missing out on compared to international counterparts like Paris, Milan, in fact, cities in most other European countries, which do offer VAT-free shopping schemes for international visitors.
Now, what is the tourist tax? I mean, that's a nickname. What is it actually?
Yeah, exactly. Look, most other countries now allow international visitors to reclaim the VAT that they pay on their goods that they buy here and things like that. The UK doesn't offer that. So look, that is the measure we're looking to be reinstated, because at the moment international visitors are turning up here looking to buy goods, and then they're arriving at the till and thinking, hang on a minute, I've got a 20% premium to pay on this, I'm going to take my custom elsewhere.
It wasn't always the case. The UK has offered tax-free shopping to international visitors before, but the then Chancellor Rishi Sunak scrapped the scheme just after Brexit, meaning international travellers weren't able to claim back 20% on their purchases as they left the country. The scheme was reintroduced when Kwasi Kwarteng was the Chancellor under the brief Prime Ministership of Liz Truss, but that didn't last long either. Now, under Jeremy Hunt's chancellorship, international shoppers to the UK don't get to avoid VAT like they do in almost all other European countries and indeed many places around the world. Now, London Live contacted the Treasury to seek a response to the BusinessLDN submission. An HM Treasury spokesperson said VAT-free shopping does not directly benefit Brits. It lets foreign tourists who buy items in the UK to claim back VAT as they return home. The scheme could also cost British taxpayers around £2 billion a year at a time when we've already had to take difficult decisions to get the debt falling, and fewer than 1 in 10 non-EU visitors used the previous scheme, showing it's not a significant attraction for tourists.
The tax supposedly raises £2 billion a year. If we essentially scrap the tourist tax, i.e. bring back in VAT-free shopping for international holidaymakers, won't that be a big hole in the budget?
Well, no, we don't think actually that is correct, because I think this is all about growing the economy. Look, we've talked about the importance of these sectors. This will drive huge gains to the retail sector, tourism, leisure, hospitality, travel. That's about a fifth of the employment here in London at the moment. If we get all those sectors booming, we think actually the costs of inaction outweigh the costs of making this measure available again.
Now, there's no doubt that the UK has a significant tourist market, and many people visiting London would undoubtedly spend big on theatre, accommodation, entertainment, tours of famous landmarks, food, and they might even splash the cash on luxury goods. But it would seem that the Treasury believes that key motivators for tourists visiting the UK is history, heritage, sightseeing in towns and cities, and not necessarily shopping. It's also the case, according to the Treasury, that not every country offers VAT-free shopping on the high street. For example, New Zealand and Canada, neither of those countries offer it, and the USA doesn't have a country-wide system. All these countries remain popular tourist destinations without VAT-free shopping, the Treasury points out.
Final cheeky question, do you really think that international travellers either choose or don't choose a holiday destination based on whether they can get slightly cheaper perfume and whiskey at the airport departure lounge?
No, I think actually it's not a cheeky question, it's a fair question. What we're hearing though is that they're still coming here to the UK, so the visitor numbers are bouncing back healthily, the footfall is looking good, but the conversion of that to spend is not so good. So what they're doing here is continuing to visit from a tourism perspective, but they're cutting short their trips, and instead the spend is taking place in Charles de Gaulle and other airports around the world, in other high streets around the world, rather than here in the UK. So we want to get their custom back, as well as the tourism, which is already bouncing back very healthily.
So, would reintroducing VAT-free status have the big flow-on effects that business groups like BusinessLDN suggest? Or is the tourist tax, which according to the Treasury brings in £2 billion a year, worth it? Leave your comments in the section below.